Welcome back, guys, to a brand new AMA on the channel. Today we have a very special guest, one of the favorites on the channel, Oort Tech. Marcus, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. Just trying to survive the mean streets of Sunnyside, Dubai. So yeah, just so far so good. Hey, Crypto G, thanks for having us. I know it's been a hot minute. It's been a long time. So yeah, totally stoked to be here. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Oort is one of the channel favorites. I've been covering it for a while now. I've been invested for a while, and I think there will be a time where Oort will do very well. And I think it's more or less just when liquidity comes back into the markets, because people are just people have the short-term mentality in crypto where they want everything in 1 week or 2 weeks. Or some projects do take a bit longer to actually pump, but as long as you guys are developing, and which you guys are consistently developing, the price action will always catch up. So just introduce Oort and yourself, and then we can just move on from there, I think.
Yeah, sure. No, absolutely. Hey guys, my name is Marcus Tinhita. So I'm the MENA lead for Oort. So I handle the business partnerships and also marketing here in the MENA region. Think of like the UAE. So I'm currently like focusing on the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, but definitely want to like check out some other parts of North Africa as well. A lot to do with like data collection, data labeling. But if you're talking about the crypto capital and lots of AI momentum taking place, the United Arab Emirates has been on the headlines. So definitely it's pretty cool to represent Oort and also the narrative of decentralized AI here in the AI capital, and I would say the crypto capital of the world. Uh, so what is Oort? So Oort is essentially it's a decentralized AI startup, which is actually a breakthrough project from Columbia University in New York City. So it was started by Dr. Max Lee and Dr. Sean Yang. So they both are professors at Columbia University, and Dr. Max Lee is a well-known figure, actually, like in the AI space and computing. And yeah, he was the first one in like with the Ivy League schools, teaching blockchain around 2016, 2017. So from there, this idea of Oort came from Columbia University. Then he made it into a separate entity, and it's now based. So essentially, for you guys, it's a cloud for decentralized AI. So we are an ecosystem where you could store your data with us. You could collect the data, label the data, and also use the data to like train AI models. So we're an ecosystem where we have like three products and one solution. So the three products are Oat storage, which is decentralized storage. We are faster, easier, reliable, 60 to 80% cheaper than your traditional storage companies like Amazon or Oracle.
Yeah.
And then we got our flagship product, which is Data Hub, which is all about incentivizing human contribution to AI development. So you get to contribute your data, participate in these tasks, and get rewarded for it in Oort. And if it is some pretty high level task, you get in USDT. So that's our main one. And of course, in the future, we will be launching Oort Compute. So think of it as an Expedia for compute providers. So it's kind of like a marketplace. And of course, we also have the solution side, which is what do you say? Our AI agent, which is focusing on customer support. So just last year, we got a 3-year contract with Lenovo Image, which is the printer division for Lenovo. So let's say they saved a lot of money using our Oat AI for their customer support. But yeah, so that's essentially what Oat Tech is all about. So yeah, but our main focus is right now for 2025 is Oat Data Hub, and the reason is that we believe that there's going to be a data quality crisis. Just to get, why should you care? If you look at the last 2 years, 90% of all your data, it's all AI generated. So this is where like we're reaching to like a point where we are running out of human verified data. So I think this is something we believe that we got to make an impact. And also too, collecting data, labeling data is also quite the laborious task. Actually involves actual human beings from the global south. So anyways, I will just stop here. I know I'm kind of went on a
No,
deep
it's
end,
fine.
but
Just
that's
carry on.
essentially what Oort is. So yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
yeah, so
I think
with
yeah, carry on. I'll cut you off. Sorry.
oh no, it's okay. No, go ahead. Because
I was just
because I know
gonna
I
say,
already
like,
covered Oort.
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, data is going to be an issue in the future, and I think the quality of the data will be biased, especially with the big tech, because whatever information you get on the internet is basically controlled by the big tech as well. So, that's also going to be an issue in the future as well.
No, yeah, that's true. Absolutely right. And also, one of the biggest challenges when it comes to some of this data is that we do not know where they got the data from. Like,
Yep.
it's kind of like a black box. It's quite opaque how they collect the data, how they even also verify the data. So, you know, I mean, I would encourage folks to, just do a Google search on OpenAI and how they collect their data and stuff. So, you'll see some articles where it's coming from Nigeria, but the problem is that they cannot, verify that, if this data they are collecting is actual human being. So it's kind of like a black box experience. So it's really hard to find data. I mean, like, a lot of companies, they're willing to buy lots of GPUs and all that stuff, which is the most sexiest news we hear, all day, like Nvidia and stuff. But trying to get high quality data, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. So all I can say is that there is an incredible amount of, capital is being deployed, to try to get high quality data, and it's not the most easiest one. It's actually pretty tough, but high quality data would actually make AI much better, faster, and also more and also reliable too. So
Are you guys still working with BNB? Are these guys still using the storage side?
yeah, so we're still part of what do you say, BNB Greenfields. Or BNB Greenfield is, think of it as, what do you say, their decentralized storage. So we are the first decentralized storage provider to their Greenfield. So they have, like, Amazon and others. So yeah.
That's good to hear. Let's go over some of the. This is one of the most requested questions from the community, because all the people that
Sure.
hold the token, one of the things what they kind of find it hard to actually store it is on Tangem. So Tangem has the BNB chain and the Ethereum chain, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure, but a lot of the cold wallets, they don't have the mainnet. So is that something? Is
Yeah.
that because we as a community has reached out to Tangem plenty of times to actually add the mainnet on there, because most people hold the token on the mainnet, as that's where most of the liquidity is and that's where most of the exchanges have the mainnet. So is
Yeah.
that something that you guys could potentially look into?
Yeah, we are. So before I go into Tangent, so we are, in terms of, like, cold storage, we are available on Ballet, Ballet. So
Okay.
and thanks to Mu for the question, we are actually in talks with Tangent in terms of getting Oort on their product. So yeah, so we're working on it. So we're trying to make it happen. Have these different levels of conversations, so some of the tech stuff and all. But hopefully we can get on the Tangent wallet. So because I know, like, on Twitter or X, a lot of people talk about Tangent. So we're seeing that quite a bit. So our team is
Yeah,
working on it, actually.
it's one of those where, like, I think some people that are new to crypto, they don't quite understand that, because what people can do, obviously, essentially, is that you can buy on the BNB chain and then use the Alt swap to actually transfer to the mainnet. But I think a lot of people kind of don't understand how all of that works, so it's kind of hard for them to actually work out. But it's someone that's been in crypto and has, maybe for like a year or two, they can understand it. But someone
Yeah.
new to crypto, I think they'll buy in the BNB chain, but they kind of find it hard to struggle to actually move it over to the mainnet? That was that was one of the main questions, I would say. Another one is, there's a lot of people from the US, because I know you guys are actually based in the US, or the company
based in
is
New York
based in the
City.
US. Yeah. So I was, one of the main questions is a lot of people from the US, they kind of find it hard to actually buy on a centralized exchange because Mexi is banned. Most of the centralized exchanges, I think, in the US are banned. So one of the biggest questions from the community was, are you guys potentially looking to actually get a centralized exchange in the US?
Yeah, so I guess at the moment, the folks who are in the United States, the best option would be the DEXs, but we are still exploring. We're trying to reach out to the guys from crypto.com. Definitely, I'm a big fan of Kraken. Especially like the reason I'm a big fan of Kraken is Jesse Powell. I mean, like, this guy is a Bitcoin OG. So if we could get it on Kraken, man, bro, I'll be more than happy, because for me, no, but the reason is I'm a radical, glorified libertarian. So in terms of principles and stuff, I think it's, in terms of optics and stuff, I think, like, firstly for me, so we still need to have the conversations with crypto.com and Kraken. So, but definitely, of course, there's also, what do you say, hopefully to have some conversations with folks from like the tier 1 exchanges too. But for the United States, yeah, sure, the only ones who I definitely want to talk to, crypto.com and also Kraken. So still working on it. Like my guys in New York, they're doing their best. So it's a whole lot of paperwork, and also trying to and also, I guess, timing as well too. So
yeah, I think timing is very important. I mean, people don't realize that when the price action is not doing nothing, people just get a bit desperate, and they spam the certain buzzwords, or when new exchange, or when marketing,
when Moon, when Binance. Oh, sure.
Yeah,
I get it. Look, it's a human natural thing, so I totally get it.
But I try to explain to my community that I think a lot of this stuff has to be timed, right? I mean, one of the things that that I noticed, Max Lee do was, I think when CZ, I think it was like somewhere in November, December, CZ posted something about the Greenfield thing, and then Max Lee straight away retweeted and said that we're the Greenfield providers, and off that news alone, and that's what timing comes in, because just off that tweet alone, it's all just skyrocketed after that. So it's all about, I think timing is very, very important in anything you do, whether it's a new product, or whether it's a new partnership or exchange or anything. I think timing is very important.
Yeah, and also want to add that if you remember this quote, I don't know if was it in this beginning of this year or something, or maybe like around Christmas time. I do remember CZ. He talked about with AI, taking over, the only job that humans have is to provide data, which is kind of like kind of dystopian, I guess. Even Dr. Maxley is like, that's kind of sad to say, but he also replied too. But we are trying to so I do recall that Oort did pump up quite a bit too. So so yeah, it's you're right. When it comes to dealing with exchanges and stuff, it does require a whole lot of paperwork, and especially in the United States. Now things are getting better, so we do hope that there would be easier regulations, and just make it easy for crypto to thrive. So
yeah, I think they are slowly getting towards there. I think Binance actually, or one of I think it was a company or something that recently made it easier for people actually to move fiat into the crypto market. So I think the chokehold, I think it was a chokehold 2.0 or something. I think that's starting to unfold now. So people can, even in the UK now, like, if you was to actually move money from your bank account into, let's say you want to move it to Kraken, they make it a hassle for you, where to the point where you don't actually want to do it. So I think I think it's only going to get worse maybe the next month. But the thing is, like, Binance itself has been banned in the UK so many times, and they always come back at some point. They get banned and then they make a comeback, and they
Yeah.
get banned and then make a comeback. And I think when
And
the
I think
bull
this is,
market starts, they're just going to probably make some find a way to come back.
yeah. And I think personally for me, it's just kind of frustrating to see, because like, end of the day, it's always, like, the regular Joes and Janes who want to get into crypto. They see
Yeah.
the value. I mean, even the daily life, like just dealing with banks and trying to, like, buy something, and you're told you can't do this with your own money. It is a frustrating experience. So this is where, like, I think, I do hope that, people do see this as an opportunity. You know what, like, there is another way, and I think, like, we can do crypto on a P2P level and stuff. So yeah,
I think we
I do
can.
hope
Yeah.
that,
I think people still
so
do it now, though. I mean, like if you're
yeah,
from somewhere in the West and you want to send family or money to like a third world country, I think
yeah.
a lot of people do use crypto now. A lot more
True.
than
No, that's true.
past.
I think many of our, I think I think many of our folks, like from, like, various African communities, and also, South Asian communities and stuff, like, and even Southeast Asia too. I mean, they definitely can testify on that, because it's faster, easier, and also quite reliable too. So, um, so
Yeah.
I think this is a good, a good
Yeah.
time though.
So definitely. I mean, one of the other questions. So I have quite a few. I'll go over the token stuff initially. So all the stuff the community keeps
No,
asking me,
sure.
I'll go over those initially, and then we'll go over the all the actual AI talk or whatever. So one of the
Yeah.
other things that you guys have done recently was obviously had a massive burn, and obviously the max
Mm,
supply is like basically 1.2.
yeah.
But this has not been updated on either CoinGecko or on CoinMarketCap, and I'm pretty sure you guys did state that you guys are working on
Sure.
it. Is this something
Yeah.
that's on the thing, because it will help out the project significantly? I mean, if you look at the FDV to the market cap,
Yeah.
if this gets cut to like 50 million, 55,
Yeah.
45, whatever it works out to be, I think that would actually make a massive difference in the project itself.
No, sure. No, first of all, no, thanks for the question. With regards to, the Coin Gecko, the Coin Market Cap, and any other, I guess, crypto data aggregator. So we are, reaching to their customer support, or or the contacts over there and stuff. But unfortunately, for some reason, how do you say, the customer support side of things from CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap has not been the best, to be honest. So unfortunately, we had the mercy of these guys, because for the longest time we have been chasing them for like months now, and it's still, they take like kind of like forever to update a
Update.
lot of stuff. So I know. So trust me, my team is kind of like a little bit frustrated about it actually. So, so we just have to be aggressively patient. So, but all I'm gonna say is, that, hey guys, I mean, we are trying our best, but we could really use the help from the community to, like,
Yeah.
tag them on
Spam.
socials or
Yeah.
whatever. Hey,
Tag them.
like,
That's what I
guys,
was
like,
gonna
can you,
say. I'll say
you
it was a
know,
good community to start tagging them and actually,
yeah, not like,
yeah.
not a cyberbullying kind of way, but like, hey, to like tag, like, hey guys, like, yo, you need to update this, so this is like, because like, we are like, so some of my guys are chasing CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. So I think if you bring that good thing I'm speaking, because otherwise they'd be super frustrated. They're like, yo, we need to like change the stuff. It just, like,
Yeah, because that's what
we
the
want
whole
people to
point was from
know.
the miners. I think that was the whole point from the miners to reduce the FTV to market cap, right? When the initial
Yeah.
proposal
So
was made. So
yeah,
this is
I
a
know it's
headache.
a but yeah. So guys, please bear with us, but also please support us on this. So you'll be
These
doing
guys,
us a
these guys,
favor.
these guys will do it. They'll go spam. These guys will definitely go spam. That's what they were doing with Tangib. They were spamming Tangib as well to add it.
Respectfully, please. Yeah, but sure. No, hey guys, thank you for your service. It really means a lot, because, gosh, man. Um, yeah. So really
One of
hope
the
this
other
happens.
questions, I think it's the marketing plan. So I know you guys have quite a few. Well, you have the one big KOR that you guys are currently working with. I forgot his name. I think
All
it's
right.
Sky V.
Yeah. Yes. Sky V. So no. Great guy.
Is it?
Pretty. This guy's been pretty influential. So So, and we are also, what do you say, our marketing team, they are, what do you say, reaching out to other, you
KOLs.
know, KOLs, but also at the same time too, of course, like we also have to do our own research and stuff. Like, so, um, I
Yeah,
guess
in the KOL.
being in the space, you know, sure, like that there some guys have, big names and stuff, but also the question is that we want to make sure that
Yeah,
they're the right, they're the right people. They are on brand, or you know they do the tasks. They're able to be supportive and also be able to help push that narrative of decentralized AI out there too.
yeah,
So yeah, I know the marketing team and the leadership. I know it's kind of like a balancing act, but Skyway has been great, and so he's not only just a great influencer, and posting and doing some videos and stuff, but also he's also opening, I think, because of his status, you know with some of the hopefully with some of the folks in the crypto space, it is opening new opportunities for us to not only just talk about Oort, but also Human AIX as well too, which is our
yeah,
decentralized AI alliance. So
yeah. We definitely talk
so
about
that has been
AI.
beneficial. So it's important for us to have folks who are able, like, not just be the face, but hey, like, open doors too, so
Yeah,
kind of like a
definitely.
venture capitalist, right? Like a VC, so you don't want just money. You also want these VC guys to open doors, and you
Yeah, help
know
out. Yeah,
yeah, because if you all if I'm sure in your community, I'm sure there's some guys who are business developers or sales guys or whatever. You
yeah,
guys know, like, cold outreach is super hard. You need someone to vouch for you. You need someone to tell you, hey, you know what? Crypto G is the man. Like, this guy knows his stuff. He has the right connections. That can really open up. I mean, um, I know not many people pay attention to it, but in the business world, trust me, it makes a whole lot of sense. It adds value, whether in Web3, but also in the Web2 side of things. Like that is how we're able to, like, how do you say, reach out to, like, you know, try to get some grants or whatever, or reach out to have, you know, this partnership, like, for example, with Dell and, the
yeah.
other hyperscalers and stuff. So that's important, so, uh,
I think so as well. Yeah, I think if you want to push a certain narrative, then you need the influencers that will do the same thing. Because there is influencers, don't get me wrong, that will just post about you, take the money, and that's it, right? But you need someone that's actually
yeah,
willing to be on board. That's another thing though. Is like a lot of influencers specifically, they just want their money, they'll post, and and then they'll move on to 10 other projects after you, and they'll do the same thing with those. So, but then there's
yeah,
I think the type of influencers you actually need to look for, in my opinion, is like people with like communities. So a lot of us YouTubers, so we have the YouTube side, but we also
yeah,
have like a private community where it's like
mm,
it could be 1,000 people, could be 500 people, but those guys hold the token, and they actually help the project out in the sense where they will post on Twitter for you, they will spam coin market cap, or they'll do the data hub stuff. Because even in my community, there's quite a few people that I see like on the global leaderboards consistently every month. And those are the type of people I think that actually make a difference in a project. Like
no,
the
true.
people that actually
And
have communities.
yeah,
Mhm.
but also look, even also some of the feedback too. Look, it helps out. It helps our, our product teams, our
Yeah.
quality control guys too. So even also address some issues and stuff like we experienced in the past, and also so there have been some setbacks, but look, thanks to people who are able to, like, share their feedback, articulate the value and stuff. That helps. I mean, so just remember, like, your feedback truly matters,
Mhm.
and also too, because like the from the base level, the guys who are working on the ground. I mean, you guys know what's happening in the AI space. You guys are, like, talking about some of the problems that's happening, and why Oort is solving this kind of particular problems. So that helps too. So it's not like like many other projects, you find a lot of, like, your I classify them as like moon boys or whatever. So they can be quite cringy and stuff, but I think we're proud to say, like, there's some folks who know their stuff. Which is good. It's a good sign that, like, for us, we are heading in the right direction. Like, so.
Yep. I don't know if you guys answer this question, because it might be a bit of I don't know, private issue. But you guys actually answer this question. Like, how much revenue you guys actually generate? Because I know you guys have a lot of clients, and is this something you can talk about?
I mean, we are okay. So I mean, we are generating revenues and stuff, but in terms of numbers, I don't have like, what do you say, the permission or access to it. So a lot of it is all under like NDAs and stuff. But like, for example, with Lenovo Image, I mean, we do have like a 3-year contract with them. So some of the revenues are coming from like storage and stuff. We are doing some sort of like small projects with like some companies, and also like from listing our data sets on Shenzhen Data Exchange, and also recently with Kaggle, which is part of Google's their marketplace for data sets. So, but in terms of exact numbers, I cannot
can't disclose it. Yeah, I thought so. I mean, you guys are proper business, so you can't really talk about it online.
Because and again, also want to remind the guys that Oort is located in New York City. So if you know anything about the regulations in New York, it is quite tedious. So definitely our legal counsel will not let us divulge a lot of information. So especially when it comes to NDAs and stuff, like with some of the traditional companies, it's not easy. So
I understand that point. I mean, another thing that I wanted to personally ask, this one's from me, you guys looking to actually update the website? Because there's a lot of partnerships you guys have, and especially on the ecosystem side, that has not been added on the ecosystem. Is this something that you guys are potentially looking to actually
not sure. No, thanks for bringing that up. So we are I guess as far as I remember, like from my marketing team, they are planning to kind of like do a whole website revamp. So please bear with us. What do you say? We will update the highlights and some of the new partnerships. So what are you guys seeing right now, with cloud for decentralized AI and stuff? One of the only simple change we did is, okay, we added Human AIX, but that'll be in the foundation side. So there will be a proper revamp. A lot of it has to do with with the Human AIX and the direction we are going, with trying to promote Human AIX as an open protocol for decentralized AI. So definitely there will be a whole revamp and change. So I
that's
don't
something I wanted to speak about as well, because I think the website is pretty cool. But if you guys changed up certain things, because one of the things that I think is quite hot now, and I don't really think anyone actually knows that you guys actually have an AI agent side. If that could potentially be more visible, I think that would help.
That's true. And and see that one is for like if you have a small business, or say for example you run a small hotel or a motel somewhere in, I don't know, London or Birmingham, or maybe maybe outside of Miami or something. I have some friends in Birmingham, so shout out to you guys. Like, so if so this Oort AI, it's kind of like a customer support agent, so it can help with some of the customer support stuff, like asking questions, as long as related to your company. So I
think that's I think it's quite good, to be fair. I mean, you guys that's the one that's being used by Dell and Lenovo, right?
For Lenovo, and for I mean for Dell, I think it's mostly what do you say? It's mostly what do you say, like the decentralized storage, and also because there are some small businesses which are part of the, what do you say, Dell's ecosystem. So they use the storage. If you log into your Google and stuff, like you have access to what do you say, Oort storage. You can also create your own AI agent, like so. So there is like kind of like a freemium side So
Yeah.
folks can play with it and stuff. So
Are you guys gonna do the Soul and Ton extension within the next, let's say, month, 2 months, maybe?
that part I don't know. I'm not sure. That part that I have to check with my tech team, I guess. Because we're working with we're working on look at the tech team is working on some other project in terms
Yep.
of integration. So once that is done and we get the the marketing approvals and the legal approvals to share it,
Oh.
then yeah, so we can explore like
I think
other.
we just hit 80K on
Um,
the notes.
oh, nice. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't
because the
even
last
laugh.
time I checked was 77, so
Yeah, it was
it's
really.
been a
I
hot
think
minute.
last time I checked, it was around 79ish. So now we're just hit because you guys just released the Edge 2, right?
Yeah, so we got the demos. Too. So let me.
Oh, you got it with
Hold
you.
on.
Nice.
I got the samples. I got it from our manufacturer during Token 2049 here in Dubai. Sorry, just give me a moment. So this one is the demos 2. So this node is a compute node. Okay, let me see. Let me see if my camera can do justice. All right. Sorry. Okay, let me see. Oh no, there's like too much glare, I guess. Oh, there. Okay, I hope you can see it.
Yes, we can see that. Yeah. Let
Okay,
me see if
cool.
I can make your screen a bit bigger. Hold on. Actually, I don't
All
think
right.
I can. You'll probably move it my face.
That's fine. Yeah. So this one is the. I guess this is the one of the samples of the compute node.
There we go. Now I've done it.
All right. Oh, perfect. Oh, outstanding. Okay, cool. So yeah. So this is demos 2. So this one, what do you say, is the compute node, which is how do you say our goal is to expand the edge network. So
Edge network,
like a
yeah.
lot
So
of the
training the AI and stuff.
yeah, on the edge. So like
Okay.
especially for like simpler like light tasks, it could be done on the edge. So so this one will help because this will be because ideas that this demos 2 will play an important role for our data hub. So it's because again our focus for 2025 is that we want to get this decentralized AI narrative out there where folks all around the world, Web 2, Web 3, they can like collect the data, label the data, also eventually to validate the data too, and you can process all that data at the edge, like through one of these. So so that's the idea. So our goal is to have, because I remember last time we have like 70,000 nodes. Our goal is to hit 100,000 nodes, including storage and compute. What you see this bad boy right here. So yeah, but I think the design will be a little bit smaller and stuff because this kind of a little bit
That
big.
looks a bit chunky,
So
yeah.
yeah. But I guess because I showed to Dr. Max, and so I think I think he might be like talking to the manufacturer in terms of what do you say,
Uh,
removing the extra
yeah.
space, all that finer detail. So we'll see how that goes. But that's the anyway, so that's our game plan right here. So
Oh yeah, this
I
is
don't know.
another
It was
thing that
kind of.
yeah, go on, carry on, sorry, yeah.
Oh no,
I know
go ahead.
I was gonna say one of the things that you guys don't actually showcase a lot is that you guys actually have this Google and Microsoft grant, right? And you got 2 grants from Microsoft. Is that something that you guys could potentially add as like a partnership on like a maybe for something like here as the main
Yeah, I
page,
mean, we did
Google,
receive.
Microsoft.
Yeah, no, we did receive grants from Microsoft and Google, but the thing is that like we are working on one of the hyperscalers in terms of having a deeper partnership. So this is where all I can say is like human AI X is involved. So where we're trying to build this open protocol where you have storage, data, validation, and compute. So so this one again, when you're dealing with some of these big hyperscalers, it does take, again, I know it does take time because of some of the legal stuff, the tech stuff, how to get things
Yeah.
integrated, making sure that the legal stuff is all the X and zeros are taken care of, and so then we can actually have a meaningful, how do you say, well, like partnership out there than just getting grants. I
Just
mean, it's
grants.
great,
Yeah. I mean,
thing is that,
this
like,
what people do in crypto is even if they get a grant or like Nvidia incentive program, they put it on their website because when retail come in, when they see the buzzwords, they're like, "Oh, this is partner with Google, or Microsoft," and they just spam the buy button. That's what most people want it on for mainly, I think.
yeah, and I get it. Look, I mean, like having partnership with, like, Nvidia and stuff. Okay, for example, like, okay, with the Render network, okay, they do have a legitimate partnership with Nvidia, like in a big
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But there are many other companies, many other startups, they all have, like, partnership with Nvidia or Microsoft or Google and stuff. But the devil's all in the details. So yeah, sure, we are getting grants, but um, to be really meaningful, like to be a proper company, like it has to be more than grants. It has to be like some big picture
Working
stuff
together.
that's worthy to get like actual proper news, proper PR coverage and stuff. Because otherwise, when it comes to the crypto space, they're really good at, like, throwing a lot of PR stuff like Newswire and all that stuff. But 90% of the time, I don't think Crypto G or any of you guys would even pay attention. Um, so yeah, I guess that I think that's I think that's a challenge, like, because we're trying to be like a legitimate business, legitimate company, like, so it, I don't know, it's a tough one, but
Yeah, it's just I feel like I said is in crypto, people don't really, I think like even if you have the most legit partnership, people don't really look into it. Like if you're like if someone was new to Oort, they don't really do like deep dives into a project. Like they'll look into it, they'll see the first page, and they'll be like, oh, Dell Technologies, oh, Tencent Cloud, oh, Google, Microsoft, and then that's for some people that's literally enough for them to actually buy the token and support the project. So that's the aspect I'm coming from. I understand your point
no,
because
sure,
you
understood,
guys are
yeah,
obviously a legit business and you can't just put random stuff on your website. You know, yeah, I think that's what he means by
yeah,
that. Just for the buzzwords,
no, no, yeah. No, sure, yeah, and also keep in mind, guys, like when it comes to like these Web2 companies, because there are certain like parameters we can promote and stuff. So some things we're not able to promote outright and stuff because
yeah,
a lot of it has to do from the lawyers from the other side. So not to get unnecessary attention. I think that's a is better, like not a, like make a
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah,
big Web3 kind of promotion. So
yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
something like especially in this space, you gotta like navigate carefully. A wrong promotion can also like derail
This,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
The
image of the projects and stuff.
legitimacy.
So
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah.
yeah, so that's
Another
yeah.
question is, I think this is more maybe catered to Max Lee because I'm sure he does a lot of the patterns, right? For Oort. How
Yeah.
you
So I
guys?
mean, he holds like 200 or something like that. So it's a
It's crazy.
oh, sorry, not three, but he has written, sorry, three patents and 200 papers. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
I've seen you guys. Your team wrote a paper for. I think it was. What was it again? Sorry, it was something to do with Japan, and I think it was quantum computing. I don't know if you remember that.
I think that would be, yeah. I think it's both Dr. Maxley and Dr. Yang.
Yeah,
Um,
'Cause
and
I seen him.
maybe, and I
Max Lee post it.
yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, so this one is more like how you guys managing the key risks of decentralized AI, such as copyright infringement, misuse of some misuse data across nodes, and lack of accountability when harmful content is generated.
I think this one is this one is kind of like outside of my scope. I think this is because I mean, just for Natty 718, I think for us, we are just, what do you say, getting folks like contribute their data and stuff. So I guess this one will be more like if you like generate content using out like say copyrighted sources or something like that. So um
Okay, let's talk about the mining aspect actually, because is that something you can talk about, the mining aspect of the project in terms of like the demos 2? Let's say if someone wants to buy the demos 2, do
oh
you?
yeah, okay. Oh, sure. Yeah. So, yes, I think the question you're about to ask is what's the price of the demos too.
Yeah. If someone wants to go
I
and buy
think
it.
that if I remember correctly, I think the price will be somewhere around the neighborhood around 460 US dollars. So as far as I remember that, definitely for demos, because we want to promote demos too, the rewards mechanism will be much more higher. Because I know, like, as for the marketing team, they're still in the process of what do you say, working out a full-fledged a full-fledged plan in terms of encouraging more miners to adopt using demos too and stuff. So it's still in the works. So
Okay, so it's not fully out yet. Like people can go pre-order it, right?
yeah, I guess they can pre-order it. So um, but in terms of like a full-fledged marketing plan, I think it's still, if I
Oh, okay,
remember, it's still in the process. So
okay.
um,
Um, in terms of you guys, layer one,
yeah.
how many projects are actually built on Oort? Because I know you guys have the ecosystem, right? Is that the ecosystem is just like projects that's partnered with Oort, or how many projects do you
Oh,
think
it's
are
more
actually
like, yeah. Oh, in
built
terms of
on the layer
projects,
one?
yeah. No, as far as I mean, we have more partnerships, but if you're talking about actual projects, I mean, we're planning to have like these in partnership with Human AIX. We're planning to have these hackathons and stuff. So the goal is to get like um, grants for some of these projects to build
Build.
either something on layer one on the Olympus protocol, or maybe solve, or maybe strengthen or solve some of the problems that we experience with, say, for example, with Oort storage, the decentralized storage side, or Data Hub, or maybe help us speed up the process for setting up a compute marketplace in terms of
Okay.
APIs and all that stuff. So um, I think we will once the website revamp is done, the Human AIX website will have the, what do you say, our technical roadmap and stuff. So um,
Okay.
so
For
from there, yeah.
what about
So
the
so
A for bundle? What about the A for bundle? Because I know you guys are also part of the A for bundle as well, right? I think it's with
yeah, so
A.
we do this. Yeah, so we recently yeah. So I think we recently partnered with ATIA for their AI unbundled. So I think I think in maybe next week or two, you'll see some of the marketing campaigns and stuff where we'll be part of it. And also
Okay.
so I think in this one, like they have they also have their own, what do you say, programs and grant programs. So we will also be able to we'll be like, because our chairman of the foundation, Mike Robinson, he'll be giving some grants to not only just startups that's participating with our bus tour, but also for AI unbundled. So that'll be our collaboration with them.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. This guy wanted to ask a question. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's right here. It's not right here. So what are Oat's unique selling points and MOAT that can give it an advantage over
Oh, the
competition?
moat. Okay.
Yeah, and then because I'm sure you guys want to be a blue chip AI project in the space, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. No, that's a great point. I guess Yeah, I guess because with the rise of human AIX, I think the go like instead of us then just focusing on storage, split between
Yeah,
storage, Oort AI, Data Hub, and compute. The goal with human AIX is that this alliance will allow Oort to focus mostly on data, and we could use other projects, their technologies in terms of storage, in terms of data validation. So, we're trying to focus more on just the data side of things. So we feel that our our unique. I guess at the moment we are focusing on that area. We believe that if we could strengthen ourselves in that particular field, and we do believe that there's going to be a data crisis or a data quality crisis. So this is where like we want to position ourselves. So you want to be more what do you say, laser focus on that than like
yeah,
say for example like Aether or say GPU.net. They're focusing on the compute side.
yeah,
One of our alliance members, Storj, they
yep.
have a definitely a great. I mean, even though we have our own decentralized storage, they also have their own
Decentralized storage.
their own decentralized storage. But Storj has done pretty well. Actually, last year with their decentralized storage, I mean, they beat what do you say, AWS, like
Really?
for the Vivint Homes contract. So Vivint Homes is a home security company. So, you know, that shows that, Web3 companies can do have
Compete. Yeah,
enterprise level, what do you say, products, so,
yeah.
but the crazy thing is that not many people know about it because, again, it's not the most sexiest part, but I think it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like Amazon in the early days. They were building what do you say, the warehouses and the FBA program.
Yeah,
So it's only later people realize, hey, hold up, wait a minute, like I could, be an Amazon seller and just use their system to sell things all over the world. So I think it's a matter of time. Like people will figure out that from the storage side, Storage is actually pretty competitive, you know,
isn't that what
and
you guys trying to do with your data hub as well with the data hub launchpad?
oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
something.
yeah. So the goal is like others can participate and also start create their own tasks and collect the data from the community too. So that will be also Dr. Max Lee. He believes will be quite the game changer. So um,
Yeah, I
because
think I
there'll
think
be companies, not just only big companies, but even also like small businesses too. Like if they want to have their own models and stuff, like they could
yeah,
set up their own tasks, so they don't have to depend on the big tech and stuff. So this will kind of create a whole new open up a whole new market opportunity. So I think this is where like we want to tackle, and especially that data side. So I believe that will make us, uh, you know, a blue chip, Web3 project, or
yeah. I
or
think
I'll say like a decent AI project. So yeah.
I think that launchpad, and I know that Maxley was actually recently talking about what more incentive can we add to being like a tier four staker or whatever on the data hub, right?
Mm.
I think
Yeah,
that
yeah,
could
yeah,
go hand in hand. I mean, like if let's say a Web3 project launches or does a task on the data hub or launches a task on the data hub, and people do it out. I think the people on the on the tier fours, maybe they could get some airdrops to the token or something, some sort of incentive. I think that could be a good one to add to the tier four stakers. And I think you guys should actually increase the amount of ore, because 5,000 ore is not a lot. That's like, I think that's like $200 or something, 250 max.
yeah,
I think you guys, if you have more incentive, for people to actually stake the token, then
yeah,
that not only does that help the price action because there's less tokens getting taken out of
yeah,
circulation, taken, but at the same time, it also keeps the price stable as well. So that, let's say the market goes down, if let's say 40, 50% of the supply is staked because there's some sort of incentive from Data Hub, that will get more people to actually start using the data hub as well as keeping the price stable as well. So that's something I think it could be a good addition.
No, no, I think it's a great idea. So yeah, I mean, like, folks, I mean, if you have any other ideas, hey, look, Dr. Max is happy to like
Yeah.
check
I
your
mean, I
posts and
thought,
stuff. So that helps actually. So share your thoughts and stuff, and yeah. So because right now, like, what do you say? Our our project managers, they're sorting things out. With Data Hub, we got the quality control team. They're trying to like figure that out. From the business development team, we're trying to like try to work with some potential clients who have a data need. So I think that would be the more good the more good projects we can like participate. This gives more opportunity for a lot of people to contribute and get
earn as
rewarded.
well.
So
Yeah.
definitely I think we're working on that, and also
I
trying to
think you already answered
expand
this one,
our.
right?
Sorry.
I think you've answered this one, right? How close is Oort to different exchanges? How likely to achieve a tier
Oh
one exchange?
yeah. We're still. I mean, still in the works. So there's still like but with regards to like I know we answered the question about like from the US side, where
Yeah.
we're still trying to talk to crypto.com and maybe other exchanges and stuff, like say for example Kraken. So one of our guys is still approaching some of the tier one exchanges, like say for example like OKX or Binance. So like
Bybit. Have you
again,
guys looked into Bybit? I think Bybit is a good exchange as well.
yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean it is. But I guess again it's just a matter of timing and stuff. So
Yeah.
I guess our main focus is trying to work on Port Data Hub. I think for us that's kind of our main priority, and solidify some of the launchpad stuff, and also like the demos which I just shared over there too. So um, because so I guess it's just a matter of timing, I guess, especially when it comes to exchanges and stuff. So and that I mean that's my opinion though. So the reason I said I used to work for a couple of exchanges before. So
Oh,
um,
did you?
yeah. So I mean I used to work for like BingX, XE.com, and my first one I used to work with Bitcoin.com exchange. So that's
Oh,
a
the
long time
old.
ago. Yeah. So
That's the OG days.
yeah. So I know it's crazy. Like blows me away. Like time flies so fast. So
Yeah, I do. I mean,
yeah.
in crypto, all the miles is only go. I mean, there's some truth to that, but at the same time, you know, I think you guys will do
No,
your
sure.
marketing. I think at the right time, right?
No, sure. Yeah, no. It's funny because like I was just having a chit chat with some of the guys from Monero. If anyone knows what Monero is, it's like a privacy coin, ticker symbol XMR.
Yeah.
So there's this there have been some debates on what do you say, like focusing on the ethos, like in terms of delisting from exchanges, and like what do you say, focusing on expanding in different markets, and like it's all about P2P. And there's another group side, trying to be quote unquote, I guess, like moon boys, numbers goes up and stuff. So I mean there is truth to both sides too. So um yeah,
I think I
so
think
that
there is truth because like the thing is like if you guys if let's say all pumps 3-4x in the space of like a week, right? And
yeah
whatever news comes out, right? That
yeah
alone could get a lot of people's attention on Alt itself. So, I know you guys have a decent amount of people in the data hub, but there's still a bunch of people that obviously don't even know what Alt is or that even exists, right?
oh sure
So if those, and if
yeah
the token, because there's a lot of Web3 people, they come into crypto and the token does well, they look into the ecosystem, they look into the project
yeah
properly. So for example, if Alt does really well in like a week or something, people go look,
yeah
at what Alt does, that might contribute to the data hub. So that there's different ways I think you could get more customers on the data hub. obviously the token's one of
Oh,
them.
sure.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I think it's
No, I agree with you. Yeah. No, totally get. I totally get where Mr. Brayhart is coming from. So, especially like, I mean, if you remember, like, CZ talked about,
yeah,
data on chain and stuff with AI. I mean, Oort, like, kind of like went kind of a little bit ballistic and stuff. So,
yeah, and that was all
um,
because of
so
one. That's the type of marketing. Is that or maybe get a
yeah,
few KOLs or whatever. 2, 3 other guys.
yeah. So yeah, yeah, it's yeah. That's there too. So I guess at the moment we just had to be, you know, you know, aggressively patient, I guess. So,
Yeah, I
um,
mean, there's no
but
point doing it now, anyways. And the market is dead, so you want to do it, when liquidity
yeah,
actually comes back into the market. So I
no,
think
true.
that's
Yeah, you're
how.
true. Oh yeah, and the other one is one good point, Crypto G, you just mentioned the liquidity side. There's truth to that too. So,
I
um,
mean, if Bitcoin's going down, you could fuck it. You can partner up with I don't know, with UAE itself, and no one will give a shit. That's the thing is that I mean, if Bitcoin's going
yeah,
down, that's
yeah.
what happens. It's
No,
it's
yeah,
all
yeah.
about time.
Good. Yeah. No, but speaking about hype, I mean, a good example for UAE. I'm here. If you remember, Mantra. So Mantra is
Yeah, mantra. Yeah, yeah,
RWA.
mantra. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
In the early, it was a super darling. I mean, people loved it. Everybody on Twitter is like,
yeah,
"Yo,
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
crazy. This what's up, man. We flying high. Blah blah blah, man." But
It
one
can't.
mess up, one man, yo,
Now it's dead.
Mantra
Yeah, now yeah, it's dead.
dead, gone,
It's dead. There's
and
nothing you can
and
do. Once you do something like that, there's nothing you can do to come back. They tried to burn a
yo,
bunch of tokens, whatever. I just
yeah. I mean, it helped a little bit, but the problem is that it was just short term. So this is
yeah,
where, like, and I also want to. I mean, and also, of course, I don't want to make any excuse and stuff, but also let's also be honest too. Like, if you remember last year, we had all this meme craziness. So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
the meme coins sucked out a lot of capital. It has extracted a lot of capital too. So
It still is
there
now.
was some pretty small AI projects. I thought they would be pretty great, but they just got caught in this vortex, and
Yeah.
all that attention is gone, and like many of them did struggle. Um, so yeah,
Yeah,
so
crypto works in narratives. Is like in November, December we had the AI agent narrative, and because you guys are still listed in the AI agent category, you guys
yeah,
pump
yeah,
because of that. I mean, like, is this that's what people don't understand. Most of it is just narratives. When Depin pumps, people just
yeah,
people in the crypto space, all they do is they go on Cointelegraph and CoinGecko, they click on Depin category, and they just go buy
yeah,
something that hasn't pumped, and that's how the tokens
yeah,
normally pump. That's all it is. It's just, like once the liquidity comes, like most projects
yeah.
will pump regardless. It's just about
Yeah, that's
patience,
a
I
yeah.
think.
I think that's yeah. I mean, I mean, that's a challenge, man. That's because it's because I know, like, Oort is not the only one that dealing with this kind of stuff. I mean, there are other great projects too. I think
Yeah, so many good
like, for
projects
example,
that
like
just the tokens no love.
yeah, like, for example, like, Venice.ai, the one with Eric Voorhees. I think it's a great project. It's I mean, they did pretty well in the start, but they still have a good community, I guess. So it has kind of gone down quite a bit, but I am pretty confident that just like smart money, I do believe is getting into Bitcoin.
Yep.
I feel this in the later stages too. You're going to see some of them also go into some of
AI
the
coins.
more useful coins,
Yeah,
useful
yeah, yeah.
projects out there.
Real
So
utility coins. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so
I do
it's
agree with that. I think it all depends on
the-
ETH, right? If ETH does well, the liquidity
yeah,
flows back
yeah,
into utility. That's all it is. At the moment, because Solana is
yeah,
doing okay and ETH is, been struggling for so long, people just been gambling on meme coins. And then I think once ETH
yeah.
wakes up, that will, it will help
But
out a lot.
I gotta say, in terms of, like, with Solana, and a lot of the meme coins are on Solana. Like, think of Trump, Melania, and there's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
gazillions
big
of
ones.
them. But I also feel like a lot of the newbies, or or noobs, how you want to call them, I think they are kind of going to this, maybe a fatigue, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. Yeah,
so
because
I
it's
don't know.
like
We'll see how that
the
goes.
meme
I'm
coin stuff
still
is
waiting.
difficult. I don't know if you've done it or not, But the meme coin stuff is not easy, man. Like you buy something on Solana, and it's like within 10 minutes you could either lose all your money or you can make it a bit of money. It's like just pure gambling.
I guess this. I guess I feel like we are in this storm, and a lot of folks are going to this gambling route. So I think sooner or later, like folks will need to kind of like detox from gambling or something. You know what I mean? Like kind of go cold turkey. So we'll see though. So hopefully, with all this craziness going on, Oort and many other useful projects could be this voice of reason. You know what I mean? Like so.
Yeah, I think all it takes is like one massive thing, like one massive announcement or one, I think that's how you just literally catch. I think if you guys, like if you guys held the Human IX Alliance and did it like 2-3 weeks ago, it would have had massive impact because that would have been like, at the right time, the market condition was perfect. Because I think you guys done it when the market was just it was like the worst time ever. I think it was, but
yeah. But I think like yeah, no, I see where you're coming from, but I guess also for us too, I think I know with with Mike and Dr. Max and also others on the team too, like the sooner we get this Human AIX out, hey, it's one of the first decentralized AI alliance thing.
Yeah.
In the long run, it's going to be, what do you say,
more beneficial,
better. So so like because this is just like Bitcoin is the first what do you say, first crypto. Then in terms of like smart contracts, Ethereum is the first one. So in the long run, like everyone goes to the one that came first. So that's how I see it. So same thing, I guess
I do
if you look
agree
at
with that, yeah.
I know. So yeah, I mean that's kind of like like I guess with the general sentiment, because especially like new people when they get into crypto, the Web3 space, they learn, they see Bitcoin, and it's just kind of makes sense for them, even though there are other better projects out there, but it's I don't know,
but you can't really beat Bitcoin though. I mean, there is better projects fundamentally. Like if you look at small contracts, obviously Ethereum's a lot faster, and then there's projects faster than Ethereum, but you can't really take their spot anymore because they had that first move advantage.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So but yeah, no, I totally get it. So when you mentioned about like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, oh man, this is interesting timing. But here's the thing with Oort. I mean, we are here for the long run. And
definitely.
with Mike Robinson, who's our chairman of the foundation, we want Human AIX to be a public good. It's a nonprofit, and because the reason we want to make a public good is that everybody will be using AI, but they need to use decentralized AI like for not as a co-pilot for their life, for their business. So you need great tools that are decentralized from the beginning, from like storing your data to compute. So which we need.
Yeah.
It's because otherwise our future would be kind of dystopian, especially with all the big tech, the black box experience, how they collect the data, the bias responses. So and this is where like the Web3 communities have to like get together and stuff. So this is why the Human AIX Alliance came into existence, to incentivize human contribution to AI development. So if you don't put humans in the loop, folks are we miss a great opportunity. So we are in this sort of like this to use the Marvel comics, or what do you call the DC comics, that that Flashpoint or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is where like
I do agree with it. I do agree with it.
Yeah, I think that's personally for my concern. That's the reason why I got into Bitcoin, was not for numbers goes up and stuff. I mean, it's a nice thing to have, but I wanted more freedom. I didn't want to. Once I learned how money's created and stuff, I'm like, yo, this is a scam. This is like some.
That's what I always try to tell my audience as well. Is like, if you're new to crypto and you just, the first thing you should ever do is always learn how money works, and then you'll see the value of Bitcoin and some crypto
I
projects.
I would recommend people, especially when it comes to money, check out the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffin. He talks about the history of the Federal Reserve, and to all the Americans out there, the Federal Reserve is the third central bank of the United States. You will
Yeah,
understand what happened to the first and the second central bank. So that should be a shocker to you. I mean, so same thing with AI. I mean, the way things are going, we really believe that Web3 can really make an impact. So right now we're going through this, this phase where, Web3 can get easily attacked by your mainstream media and all that stuff.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's going to be a matter of time when people realize, hey, you know what? Like, I could play a role in this. It doesn't have to be this big boys kind of game. Like others can participate, they can contribute, add value, and um, and have more freedom. So I know that's my take. So hopefully people see that.
You should invite Tao. Oh, they said that you should invite Tao to the Human IX Alliance. What do you think? I don't think that's your area, is it?
No, no, I don't. I guess we can check out with Bitensa and see. Because I know they got their own ecosystem. Because I know, like, Tao was connected to who's this
The
guy,
Polkadot.
Barry Silbert or something. So
And they built on Polkadot, which no one really knows about, to be honest. It's like, because Polkadot's been so
I mean,
dead in
yeah. I
terms
mean,
of.
look, I like the guy Gavin Wood. I mean, great developer. Interesting, mechanism with parachains and all that stuff. Um, but we'll see how that goes, though. But I mean, Tao has been getting some
But
pretty good
Tao's not really needed in the Human IX Alliance, in my opinion. Especially if you guys are focusing on compute, data, and
Yeah.
storage. Like, why does Tao need to be fitting in that?
Yeah, and not necessarily, and I think for us it's more about this trying to push this narrative of decentralized AI out there, and getting humans in the loop. So because again, like Human AIX is the focus is on the humanity side, right? Getting
Yeah,
humanity involved. So how humans like you and me, how we benefit from storing our own data, being able to
yeah.
get rewarded for sharing this data, so and get rewarded for contributing for AI development. So this is something I think we want more people to be aware. So it's a long shot, but I think it's only a matter of time, So um,
Good question for you, Marcus. I think we can end it after this one. Like, how do you see
okay,
this cycle playing out? I think this is an interesting one. I like this one.
how does this cycle play out? Oh, I don't know. Oh man, that's a quite a deep question. I love it.
I'm sure you have your own crypto portfolio as well, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, um, definitely, obviously, I'm big into decentralized AI. I mean, thanks to Mike Robinson. I mean, like, I mean, he's the one who introduced me to Dr. Max Lee and their work on AI. Because I didn't know he was working on this project like 2021 or something. So
Oh,
um,
well,
yeah. So, because like Mike Robinson, he came to one of my meetups. Is called Coffee Crypto. It's mostly for developers and stuff. So we talk about zero knowledge proof, privacy and stuff. So so yeah, so that's how like other than decentralized AI, I do love privacy, like some of the privacy projects like Monero. So I mean, the reason being is that just like the internet and Bitcoin grew from the dark nets and the black markets, now Monero is used in the dark nets and the black markets. It's not only used by
yeah. I think
the
Monero is
market.
the future.
Yeah, it's like the
I
marketplaces,
think it'll do really
but
well.
even government agencies too. They also use Monero too. If it's good enough for
Yeah, of
them,
course they do. Yeah,
it's good enough for
that's how they.
you and me. The same.
That's how they loaded their money is through these privacy places. I think.
Just yeah, some of them stuff. No, no. Let's also keep it real that still majority of all the money laundering is still done in the U.S. dollar, the almighty
Yeah,
U.S.
you think
dollar.
so?
So
I think it's
yeah,
done
yeah.
through
So a lot
Bitcoin
of
a
it
little
is.
bit as well.
Yeah, no, because it's still see. Normally, people, I think definitely not with not with Bitcoin, because it is a public ledger.
Oh, that's true.
So
Actually, yeah, it
you
can
could
be. Yeah,
use chain
yeah,
analysis and
yeah,
stuff. So like chain analysis and all these other blockchain analytics, they all have downloaded the whole, Bitcoin, the blockchain, so they're
yeah.
able to map things out and stuff. But I think what Monero is really good at is, chain hopping. So, but still, most of your traditional criminality or whatever, they all use like, different corporations and paperwork and all that stuff. So
Maybe
it's still
maybe we should
happening.
get
So
maybe we should get Alt and Monero partnership going. What do you think?
I'm trying to talk to I haven't got the chance to talk to these guys from Monero and stuff. I mean, there's a show called Monero Talks and stuff. But I did try to, like, tease this guy Vikrant. He's the founder of Cake Wallet. So it's like a Monero first wallet. So they do have Cake Pay, where you could, buy gift cards with Monero and Bitcoin and stuff. So I've been trying to push ever since we got that last year partnership with Phison Pay, or Phison app, I
Oh
think.
yeah, yeah, I
You
remember
can
that
you can
actually. Yeah.
buy gift cards with Oort. So I'm trying to, like, hey, yo, man, like, let's talk. So we haven't got to that conversation yet, but I mean, we're busy with the data hub stuff. But
Yeah.
I think what I like about decentralized AI is that you can talk, because it also deals with privacy too, right? Making sure that, your data is private and has maximum security. You're not dependent on the big tech. So um, so yeah, but sorry, I know my apologies. No, I know I kind of went off tangent, but in terms of how the cycle is going to play out, the way I see it is that I do believe the smart money, some of the uh, I guess some
Bitcoin
of the
guys,
big players,
the
they
Bitcoin
are
maxis.
slowly buying some Bitcoin and stuff, while everybody's, like, panicking and stuff and all.
Panicking. Even
So
right now, people are still panicking. Like because we dropped from, I've dropped 5K in Bitcoin. Everyone thinks it's over. And that's
yeah, no, it's true, true. So it's same thing with also, but I guess with also Ethereum as well too. So um,
yeah,
you know, I I think I do see some of the big players behind the scenes. They are, like, how do you say, some of this liquidity stuff is obviously quite engineered and stuff, in my opinion.
I think it
Not
is. Yeah,
financial
yeah,
advice. So there's a lot of there's a lot of social engineering going on. So there's something like, for our communities, for your communities as well, like, to uh, be aware so that you could prepare.
yeah.
So and and also try to be aggressively patient. I know it's part of me is also agrees that, we do need some, numbers go up, hype it up, and all that stuff. I think it's great. It does help, but also same time too, we also got to be careful, because sometimes there are, how do you say, actors out there, who are trying to create this fear and stuff as a way to accumulate more Bitcoin, and then you'll
Yeah, yeah,
see
yeah,
this
yeah.
crazy pump. So
Yep, 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 yep.
like,
I
if
think
history's
look,
not
any
repeating,
market.
guys, it is
Yeah,
rhyming. You know what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah. I do agree with that. I think it's the same play out for like the last 4 years. I think we go into a consolidation phase where during that time most retail get shaken out because most retail hold altcoins and most
Yeah,
people generally do not hold Bitcoin because there's minimum return in Bitcoin, right? As most retail say. So what most people do is when Bitcoin's consolidating, when they chop in for like 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, like it did in 2024, and during
yeah,
that time a lot of the altcoins do get really badly wrecked out. So,
yeah,
they get shaken out, they think crypto's over, and then just for it to mark higher. And then they keep doing this over and over again. I think I think the Federal Reserve, obviously, when the NQT, I think then we can probably have, I think, a more sustainable alt season where I think dominance will come down and people
yeah,
will pay more attention to altcoins than Bitcoin because by that time, Bitcoin's always going to move first. Bitcoin could be at 130, 140, before the
yeah,
NQT, and altcoins get, destroyed maybe, or they're not doing as well as Bitcoin like they are now. And then when QT starts, I think a lot of people will start taking profits from Bitcoin and start, getting a little bit more greedy, I think, because you look at the money
oh,
markets,
sure.
there's about,
Yeah,
7 trillion something sitting in the money markets. And, the money markets is basically like a safe haven where people go there when they're scared, there's something uncertainty or whatever happens. And I think, I don't think that money will stay there forever. I think this tariff and it'll roll over at some point, and then all that money will flow back into riskier assets. That's what I think. At least.
I totally agree, and you made a good point. Like, money will have to move, and see, money is like energy; it has to move. It cannot stay
it has to move. It can't
stagnant.
stay in one place,
So
because it's like it's corporation versus corporation. Market maker versus market maker, and everyone wants to make money. So, and people don't
I
realize
guess.
this.
I guess how the folks have to, like, if you're using like I just to go back to the coin market cap or CoinGecko. I know people use that as a way to track the markets and stuff. I mean, I have my issues with these guys in terms of updating the stuff, but I do recommend people to check out, like, I don't know, like DeFi Llama or Dune Analytics or something, because at least like you get a much more better accurate
DeFi Llama is very up to date. Like, they'll do it the next day. Like, they're very,
This is what I recommend some of the new people too. Like, if you can take some time to look into some of that stuff, you'll get a better understanding, like how some of these big players, like what you mentioned, right, market makers and or other kinds of whales getting in. So because they are playing. I mean, they are trying to consolidate. They are trying to
accumulate and then move up.
Move the market sideways and stuff. And of course, I mean, like, even some governments too, I guess, I suppose. Who knows? I mean,
I definitely governments as well. I think they're all involved to some degree. I mean, look at it's like right now is a Trump's market. Is like anything Trump does, it will affect the market, and this is the issue, right? It's like,
I know
it's crazy, isn't it? I don't think it's I don't. He does. You can tell he does a lot insider trading, because like when he put he did something regarding to crypto, where I think he was a Chinese with them, and China made a trade deal. He went on TV or national. I think some people were recording him, and it was like he's just saying, "Oh, this guy made 1 billion today. This guy made 900 billion today." It's like, that's clearly insider trading. There's nothing else that could be. He's getting all these bodies making billions, and it's like,
Oh, true. Okay, let me show you this, because I'm here in the UAE, right? Like, MGX, which is one of the funds under, I think, what, ADIA or G42, one of the Abu Dhabi sovereign funds or whatever. Like, I mean, they bought, what do you say, they paid like $2 billion for a stake of Binance in Trump's stablecoin. You know what I mean? Like, like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, so I can see these are some things like, I mean, this is a great question, Noah. Thanks. I think, there are things happening behind the scenes. So, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I guess the point I'm trying to say is that, other than Coin Market Cap or CoinGecko, usually the other Dune Analytics or whatever, and like, you'll see like a whole different numbers what we're seeing, like, like the retail side, right? So again, see, the only way like people are getting successful in this space is because of information arbitrage. That's different between you, me, and rest of the folks. There's this information arbitrage, and also timing too, right? Whether it's exchange listings or whatever. So because we are entering a new phase. So I mean, I don't know. So it'll be interesting how the cycle's playing out, but definitely for sure, Crypto G.
Good. Great having you.
Yeah.
Great having you, Marcus. We can do it in the future again, when we have some more updates from Oort.
Sure.
Come back, and definitely. So yeah, guys, make sure you guys check out Oort. Actually, one last question, actually, just to wrap this up.
Sure.
How can we as the community actually help you guys as well, in terms of,
sure. No, first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for, finding the good fight, and also, like supporting, Oort Data Hub. The best thing, I think, one of the things like I want to share with folks is to, help, get the word of Data Hub out there, because we're all about incentivizing human contribution to AI development. So we want people to contribute their data, participate in the tasks, and get rewarded. So, and get the word out there. So that's that is how because we want to build a strong foundation of having more data contributors. Because hopefully in the future, our business development team and the leadership team, they're actually working pretty hard in reaching out to some companies, some big companies who have huge data requirements, and they are exploring the Web3 side of things. So if we can showcase that Web3 communities can get together, create a global workforce in a decentralized way, and contribute the data for AI development and get rewarded for it, I think Oort can actually be it would definitely be a blue chip AI, not just a project, an actual company. So I think
Yep.
this is where you guys can really make an impact, is get more people involved.
Yep.
It's pretty simple. So if you do that, you also get rewarded not only just for doing the task, but also referrals as well too. So we are definitely improving the referral system and the point system and the reward system as well. So this is a kind of like a win and a win situation for all the parties involved: the AI companies, Oort, and the Web3 communities. So
definitely. All right, Marcus. Appreciate you for coming down, my friend. Smash the like, guys. Share it, subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you guys in a few days for another live stream. Take care. Bye bye.
All right. Adios.